On Sunday evening, just gone, the group of people, the community I guess, that live around where I live, got together for a bit of a shared barbecue situation. People brought various dishes and we barbecued some stuff on the barbie, as you do. And it was great. I met a few new neighbours too, a Colombian guy who was an architect and worked with a bunch of town planners, and we were reflecting on how good it was to be with such a good bunch of people in our local neighbourhood, and the sense of security that provided. And he made the comment that you can design all these things, you can put together the infrastructure and have a park in the middle and, you know, build houses around it and have your pub and your cafe and whatnot and church. But you can't design the people. You know, the people that come along it's a bit more random. And we had to acknowledge that was the case. But I was still struck, I was really struck by how having good people around you that you know offers a sense of security, which I think is better than any other sense of security and well-being for that matter. So, for example, my mind goes back to the beginning of lockdown in 2020. Well, if you can remember that time ago, I'm sorry to use the lockdown word and traumatise you again, but remember when toilet paper was zipping off the shelves and no one could get any? I remember feeling quite secure. We had plenty of toilet paper, but even if we got down to our last roll, I knew that I could call somebody in my neighbourhood and they would have some, like someone would have a spare roll, and if they had a spare roll, they'd make it available to me, because that's what we do for each other. And if you don't have that kind of network of friends and community, then you have to have everything yourself. And that means you have to work really hard and compete with others for the resources, and everybody else is potentially a competitor to you. And so that in itself works against the likelihood that you'll ever develop a strong sense of community, because the people that you're likely to become in community with are actually your competitors. So why talk about something like this? You're in a community here at Wesley at the University of Sydney, and even though this is not a permanent community for you, could be 1 year, could be 2, could be 3, I think some people have stayed longer, it's a great opportunity to practice getting to know a group of people, and probably a bunch of people, not all of whom are just like you or hold the same political views or ideas about what's important and all that kind of stuff, but to get to the point where you realise that there are some things more important than just gathering with people that are just like you. If you can have a baseline commitment to the people that are around you, even if they're different to you, in fact, all the more so if they're different to you, that provides a sense of security and well-being that having everyone who's just like you around you can never provide, because of course nobody is just like you, and even if you think they are, that's only because they don't know you well enough and you don't know them well enough, because if you keep going you'll discover, the longer you live with someone, how different they are. So having a primary commitment to caring for those around you, that is security, that is well-being, and you might even say it's enacted love. Now, I can say that because I'm the chaplain, I'm a rev, and we talk that kind of stuff in the church. It's not so common to talk about in other places. So while you're at Wesley, it's not about competing necessarily with those around you. I mean, a bit of competition is always healthy and maybe helps you do the best you can, but have a primary commitment to those around you for their well-being and what's best for them, and you'll discover your own well-being and what's best for you in the midst of it. Think on that. God bless. See you at college.